Now, I
Hmm.
connect with artists every single week, and I kind of witness the love and the passion they have for what they do, really firsthand, being kind of talent adjacent, as I call myself.
Hmm.
What I do find that's missing is something we just discussed briefly offline, which is, there is a serious level of knowledge for the admin side and for kind of the contractual side of things. They don't really know how to operate in that space, which is why we wanted to launch this series. What does great artist management look like for you? And do you have any advice for any artist managers out there, given that you are, of one of
Yeah,
many artist
I
managers?
think great artist management has to deal with knowing you're going to be dealing with and
Mm,
covering and taking care of and nurturing and caring for every aspect of your client's life.
mm,
To me, that's a good manager. Now,
mm,
obviously, a lot of people draw the line, and they just do business. They don't do personal. They don't do family. They don't do. Everybody has their rules on how they do it. I come from an old school point of view where I like to only work with family. You know what I mean? I've been with the same company almost 30 years. You know what I mean? I'm not jumping around from label to label. And by the way, totally fine if you are. But my point is, I'm about loyalty and I'm about honor and I'm about integrity and I'm about respect. And if I have a client, you're gonna get all of me. You're gonna get all of me. Your career is gonna get all of me. Your
mm,
endeavors, your deals, your future, your wife, your kids, your family, everybody that's in your world is
mm,
gonna get 100% of me. And to me, that's just a great manager. You know what I mean? Where artists or whatever, let me not say artists, clients,
mm,
the management clients are giving you their life in their hands, for them to make it, to make it successful, to make it better, or to make their dreams come true.
mm,
And that's creating opportunities that weren't there. That's
mm,
creating brands deals that weren't there, creating things out of that didn't exist, that the phone call didn't come in. An easy manager is just going to sit by the phone and let the calls come in. Because if you have a decent client, people are going to be like, "Oh, I want them to perform here, or I want to, put them with my headphone company." Those calls can come in, and you can manage them. What are you doing about your client that they've never done before? That they love. They go skiing every, winter with their family, but yet, there's no ski deal on the table. There's no. You have to kind of look at things that are sitting right there. Not only obviously get creative and think out the box and dig in, but also the things that are just right there on the surface. But my
mm.
point is just creating opportunity and creating income for your client, opportunities and income that weren't there prior to you being there, to you getting on and making sure that they're good all around the board.
Mm. It's also important to then get to know your client. There's so many managers that
Oh,
don't
100%.
necessarily know even their
Yeah,
favorite. Like you should know their favorite food, base level, like
everything.
or their genre of person or their personality type, or it's like a date at the end of the day because this person you're gonna work with in and out, and you have to be able to answer for them and their best interests. You can't do that if you don't know what those are.
Let me tell you something. I used to work in the studio. I used to be an A&R. So between A&R and management and everything, I worked with a bunch of artists. And when I did a lot of studio stuff or just in general, I knew my clients. I knew my artists. I knew what they liked. I knew what they didn't like. I knew to order food for them
To
maybe
my
an hour
point,
and a half before I knew they were going to get hungry, because then I might lose them. I might lose them because they're hungry and then they get grumpy, like anybody might get. I might lose them because they might want to go out and eat and leave the studio, which means less
you're
time in the
gone.
studio, less being done. So I would think ahead. So by the time they're like, "Man, I'm getting hungry. What y'all think?" And I'd be like, "Oh, I already ordered you your curry chicken. They'll be here in 10 minutes." You know what I mean? So you have to know them. You have to know everything about them. You have to think ahead. And that's with anything, not just food in the studio. You know what I mean? Being in another state, another country, being at a venue. What do they like? It's just like artists have their rider, the artist rider of all the things they want in their dressing room.
Mm.
You're their human rider. You know what I mean? You have to know and be ready for anything that they want and be able to provide that. So you're right. Knowing your client in and out is knowing, how you're able to deal with them and how you're able to get the best and the most out of them.